Hello everyone, good afternoon. Dear authors and invited guests, welcome to Technical Session 7A, 7D. Myself Richa Shah and this session will be moderated by me. On behalf of the Global Knowledge Research Foundation and GR Scholastic LLP, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the ninth International Conference on Smart Trends in Computing and Communications, SMARTCOM 2025, held in Pune, India. The ninth edition of the conference is being organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event was held yesterday in Pune, and the virtual event is being held today and tomorrow via Zoom. I hope you will enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive sessions throughout the day. In this session, we have 10 presentations, and each presenter will be given 8 minutes for the presentation and 2 minutes for question and answers. On 7 minutes, I will raise a gentle reminder. There is another request to all the participants that you all stay connected with us in the closing remarks. If you have any query or update, then you can write it to me in the chat box. So before we get started with the session, I'd like to introduce you all to our session chair, Dr. Akhilesh Kumar Sharma sir. He is currently working as a professor and head in Manipal University, Jaipur. Sir has many technical research papers in international and national journal conferences. His area of interest lies in big data analytics, deep learning, classification and clustering methods, data mining, and machine learning. Sir has worked as an board of member of various journals and conferences and has reviewed various research articles on national and international importance. Welcome to the session, sir.
Yeah, thank you, madam. Thank you for such a good introduction.
Thank you, sir. So moving on next, we like to start with the presentation. I'd like to call Mr. Vaibhav Chauhan for his paper titled Analysis of Customer Reviews on Food Delivery Platform Using Deep Learning. Sir, please can you start with your presentation? Sir is not in the meeting. Meanwhile, we can go on to the next presentation. I'd like to call Mr. Manav Vakthalia for his paper titled Black and White Image Colorization with OpenCV and Deep Learning. So please can you start with your presentation?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Manav Bhakthalia. I am from Chhattisgarh University of Science and Technology, and my paper ID is 197. First of all, I like to thank you, SMARTCOM team, to giving us opportunity by selecting our paper. These are this outline which I will be covering throughout this presentation. So my project title is the black and white to colorized image transformation using a deep learning and the OpenCV. So introduction is the Y colorization methods because there is a fact like a 70% set test scenario. Like a historical image, there will be 70% of images that are already captured in a black and white format. We can enhance it by recoloring face also. So traditional challenge method are like a manual recoloring in black and white to colorize method will be really complex based. So using deep learning approach with the help of AI models, it will be really accurate and precise full. So the thing will be this that this thing is already available in market. So what have we done to improve more accuracy and precise full? So we use the particular object detection that will be really helpful for applying colorization also. And for our project, we use the cafe model. Cafe is the pre-trained model that will be trained on large amount of data set for converting black and white image to colorized image. So next one is the proposed methodology. This project will be partitioned in many parts for further steps. For steps one is the pre-processing, like user have to put one manual we can say manual input as a grayscale image, or system will be automatically convert into grayscale format also, and also it will be resized, or that will be really helpful for cropping, or we can say object detection. When we say object detection, that will be going on to step 2. So models like YOLO that are used for a particular object selection or object detection, similar to type that system will identify particular section with the help of object detection, and it will be really helpful for targeting colorization. For that, example like selecting object, trees, peoples, vehicles, etc. This is the system architecture. As you can see over here, user will be input as a grayscale image. So more like many more models, what they have to do, they will focus and prioritizing first thing that will be really nearest to the picture that will be taken from the we can say anywhere. So for example, I used to uh, focus on this particular man that will be walking on right side of the road. So what I will done, I will just particular select this region that will be include this man, and as the output image, that will be do in a particular two partition. The first one is the for particular whole image as the colorization, and second one is the particular region that will be really helpful and accurate it. So for in our project, we use the pixel block that will be really accurate and improve our project performance also. So flow diagram of my project is the like a first user have to load one image, or we can say any type of image that will be used as a grayscale or black and white format. That next thing will be done is the pre-processing or resizing, or we can say normalizing. That will be really helpful for object detection and for cropping part areas also. So next phase is the colorization process after particular selecting object. For our project, we used the 4 point that will be really helpful for a particular selecting object. And after that, post processing will be done. Like there will be two partition, first for whole image colorization, and second for the for just user want to particular partition. And after that, uh, as a output format, display colorized image will be displayed. When we talk about the performance as a result and limitation, so in as you can see over here, we use the pixel block, that will be really accurate, and as a performance, our model will give 85 to 90% of accuracy with more precise full. But we do have limitation. Why? Because we use the cafe model. Cafe is a pre-trained model that will be trained on large amount of data set, just for converting black and white to colorized image, not for the particular object detection. The object detection we used, and we improved our performance in a particular model. So that will be accuracy gap in a limitation. When we talk about the for selecting particular small region on that test case scenario, our model will predict the wrong color also in some case scenario. So there will be future enhancement also by in our project we use the pixel blocks, but we can further improvement by using smaller object also, by using just pixel also. So that will be really helpful to improve this project. Also in a real-time colorization for videos, not as well as just for images also. For our project we used only for image, but it can be further improvement also. When we talk about the in a day-to-day lifetime technologies like AR and VR, virtual reality also come into the picture, and it will be helpful to recolor parts and for particular some scenes in a real lifetime scenarios also. So conclusion is the AI driven colorization makes image more preciseful and more accurate, but we do have a limitation as I mentioned earlier. But combining object detection with the help of deep learning, it improves the accuracy. This approach can be extended to various applications like historical image retrieving and also the film restoration also. These are the reference which I will taken. That's it from my side. Thank you. Any queries? Any questions?
Any
Hello.
Yeah.
questions from the section, sir?
Yeah. So, okay, this is a great paper. The presentations are very nice.
Okay, thank
So,
you.
can you just explain like how you have done the data validation and what methods you have selected?
Okay, for that, as I mentioned earlier, we used the cafe model for just converting to black and white to grayscale image to colorized image. But we improve it by selecting particular regions, so it will be that accurate.
Okay. Okay, fine. And what is the applicability? Is it means have you utilized this thing into the real scenario, real life scenario?
Yes, I captured the image and put it in our project. As well as model will predict the some color because of the we used lab color space channel that will for luminance and A and B for the different color scenarios. That will be really helpful. And we used real life case scenarios also.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for your
Should I
presentation.
just stop sharing my screen?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello, Richa.
Yeah.
Yes, Richa, I think the Vaibhav is here. So please
Okay.
proceed for the Vaibhav Chavan.
Okay. Uh, yes, sir. Weber, sir, you can please start presenting.
Yes, I will start. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vaibhav Chavan, and I'm honored to present my topic, which is analysis of customer reviews on food delivery platform using deep learning. So, the authors are Vaibhav Chavan, Aditya Bhaval, Shruti, Aditi, and our Dr. Naravde sir. So our technology means our research is about how we can improve the businesses like food delivery businesses, help them by making them understand by use of AI and making them understand how we can use the deep learning and other models to analyze the reviews and to create better productivity. So this is the table of contents. We will discuss about the introduction, the literature survey, which was done by us on 15 papers. Next is the best techniques and models, which we got from them, the tech and the libraries used in them, the key application, pros and cons, the recommendation by our team, and the conclusion. So first, it is the introduction and what is the online food delivery. So, and like you all already know, the apps like Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Swiggy have delivered the food to our doorstep in just few taps. So, why do customer reviews matter? So uh, it helps in optimizing the delivery time to increase the better user experience. So what are the challenges which are faced and in the current scenario? So it is not an easy task to review such a big data sets. And so the first challenge is the massive data volume. The next is unstructured data, the informal languages, slang, and used of mixed emotions, emojis. And next is the limitation of the traditional methods. So how we counter that? So this is the table of literature survey, and we have total 15 and 14 to 15 papers, and we have categorized them into this table. So it has the paper here, the methodologies, data set, and the accuracies. So we will discuss few. Like the second one is the sentiment analysis of Bangladeshi meal delivery startup based on the user feedback. So this model used CNN, RNN, and LSTM based models. In this, the categorization of the comments was on two categories: the good and the negative comments. So in this, CNN and RNN was able to achieve up to 75 to 80% of accuracy, but LSTM outperformed them by 91.07% accuracy. Next, we can look at the prescriptive analytics framework for the efficient e-commerce order delivery. In this scenario, we use the XGBoost, means the the publishers use the XGBoost to improve the efficiency of their models. Like they decided what should be the time of delivery, and it should not hamper the workers' health, and also provide the food at the best time. Next, now we can look at the fourth point, which is the predictive analytics for supply selection and order allocation. So this was a modified LSTM method for demand forecasting. Means when the trend is high, when is the food demand high, and but it was only able to get an accuracy of 68.5%. Next, we can look at the point number 8, which is improving the online food services user experience with advanced analytics. So under this, NLP and AI was used, and next, and also RSAHDL dash UXD model was used, which was able to cleanse the customer reviews by removing the noise, the unnecessary word, and was able to get accuracy of 98.57. Next, these are the images taken from the other papers we researched on. Like you can see here, and there is a DL versus ML, which was that Bangladeshi paper, and for image, which made this understand, like from here, this table you can understand like how LSTM was got a better accuracy over the ML models. And here this is a prediction type of table which is proposed by us. Like we can use the BRT plus BLSTM and other means like a hybrid and deep learning to increase this review system and get better results. So this is the best techniques and models, and we are talking about, like the BRT plus BLSTM achieves the 85% accuracy, even though it will look like it is less than the LSTM 91% accuracy, but it outperforms it by by categorizing the reviews based not only on positive and negative comments, but also on other different factors like.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry to disturb, but 7 minutes are already over. Can you please wrap up?
Yes. So our main proposed solution is like use of this BRT plus BLSTM, and to get an accuracy, and also getting an different categorization or based on positive, negative, neutral, and other reviews like anger and satisfaction of the customer, and use of other models like K means clustering plus SAW to get a trend of the food trend, and use that on the food review to get positive food review on that particular food trend. So and here are the basic Python models which was used, and these are the same things like the hybrid model of BRT and BLSTM and K means plus SAW technique, which will help better for sentiment analysis and emotional analysis. So and the weakness, these all this counters the weakness of its scalability by use of AXI, and also the use of this will help in mitigating the quantifiable benchmarks, especially in the sustainability analysis by use of Apache Spark. These are the reference paper. Thank you. Any doubts, any questions?
It's a very great presentation. And only one question we need to ask, like, what is the social benefits of this research, and how you admiring the people who are working in this in order to gain the social benefits to the people? Yeah.
So, and what we are thinking is that, we can, like our project, we can make this, and I use this idea to connect with the local and food and food and market. So, and we can give this, like, and we can make this into a project and give them an app so that it can help them get which type of food is trending, or which type of customer service, like, and is there any problem which and is reducing their sales or of food and other things. So we will use this BRT plus and BLSTM model, which will and make a good project, which will not only can and create and means and find only the positive negative, but also will find the other factors which are influencing their and food delivery.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation, sir. Mm. Moving on next, I'd like to call Mr. Ganesh Sagade for his paper titled IoT-enabled semantic context aware service composition of active spaces. So please can you start with your presentation?
Yeah, thank you, Risha. Let me just share my screen. Is it visible already? No. No, just a
No,
second.
sir.
Okay. Okay. Is it up now?
Yeah, it is visible now.
Yeah. So my research paper is on IoT-enabled semantic context aware service composition for active spaces. So the authors are Dr. Anil Surve sir, then Dr. Vijay Gorpade sir, and me myself. Okay. And these are the contents: introduction, problem statement, literature review, objectives, system architecture, methodologies, then simulator output, conclusion, future scope, and the references. Okay. So the introduction of this research is that it is a service-oriented building automation. It is an adopting a service-oriented architecture paradigm with devices implemented by a device profile for web services. And we will be using DPW Sim simulator to test this research into a lab. Okay. And using this simulator, we will be using a 6-phase composition process to carry out all the services that have been assigned to the specific user. Okay. So I do have an architecture diagram next, which will explain in more detail how this research works. Okay. So the problem statement is that to design a service-oriented architecture-based building automation system as a novel approach to bring the web technologies into building automation with devices implemented by device profile for web services. Okay, so the literature review, there have been consistent researches on this one regarding the IoT on the active spaces. But in that one, I think it is a little bit less efficient and only the limited services are provided. Also that they are not containing the context matching. So context as in the situation or any type of environment details, that is longitude, latitude, whatever your position is there, whatever your location is there, these kind of context should be captured when you are providing services to the users. Okay. And to study this building automation system, the service oriented architecture is used, and also for collecting all the information of the users, we are using the device profile for web services. So for each of the user, there will be specific services created, or those services will be composed as per the user's request. Okay, so for that one, we are using DPWS. Okay, so to design this system architecture, graph database using the web ontology language is also used. And to implement and develop this system, we are using some sensors, some kits, and to represent or to for the proof of this concept, we are using the DPW Sims simulator. Okay. And okay, so this is the overall system overview. in that one, whenever consider a lab which is uh, we can consider it as our active space. So whenever there is any user, he will be having some RFID scanner. When that a user will scan that RFID, the, all the information regarding that user along with the context, so the environment details will be collected and sent to our system. Okay, in the database. The database will process this data. It will capture all the details. It will first of all it will search if this user is authenticated or not, and if it is authenticated, it will search for all the services that have been created or stored for this user, and which can be provided, and then it will then use its semantic query to create the composition plan to execute all the services that needs to be provided to that user. Okay, this is the system overview, and this is the actual system architecture. So in that one, there are four main blocks, that is database, communication, discovery, and composition. So these are the main system components are there. In the database, it has four layers: ontology building, graph-based database, plan for composition, and service cache respectively. So this ontology building is used to represent the interrelation between the concepts and descriptions. Okay. Service cache improves the efficiency of all the services that are required to be provided to the users, and it will minimize the time because it will catch all the services that have been provided to this user earlier. Okay, and then in the communication, it represents the functionalities of a different network technologies, communication medium such as TCP IP, Bluetooth, or any other communications like a wireless, or we can say Wi-Fi, these kind of things. Okay, and discovery is another some domain that mainly consists of two services, that is service discovery and service caching. So service discovery means it will capture all the services that are there in that environment for that specific user. Okay, and then there comes the next composition. The final subdomain is the center point of this architecture. So it has also the 6 pages, and which will happen one by one once the users data is collected. Okay, and then so the points are something like that. In the composition, the service selection, service binding, and service execution happens respectively. When the user data is collected, then first of all it will select the services which are going to be provided to the user. Okay, then these services will be binded together, and then those services will be executed. This is how something the system architecture looks like. So the methodology is that we are using device profile for web service to store all the information of the services for that specific user. The user profiles will be created in this one DPWS. Okay, and to deal with the dynamic changes in the context of users and the active spaces environment, we are using composite service plans. So we are using a composite plan description language. So it is something somewhat similar to our XML language itself. We will be uh, storing all the details of the users in that CPDL language. Okay, user and environment contexts are modeled and processed efficiently in the system through the context processor to help the decision making process to carry out the service composition. Okay, so this is the DPWSIM simulator which we are using um, um, for the proof of concept. Okay, so this is how it looks like. So as of now, there are currently, so for XYZ user, we have two services like light bulb and a coffee maker, and when that user scans its RFID card in the active space, those services will be so this is the DPWS Explorer. So these kind of services will be fetched when that RFID will be scanned. So these two services will be available. And when after executing the composition plan, those services will be executed like this. So the bulb will be turned on and then coffee will be poured. Okay. So the conclusion of our research is that the prototype design of the context server service oriented architecture, it has been employed in the 6-step process to follow the composition plan. It is also working fine. Okay. So we have tested it using the DPWSIM simulator, and the prototype comprising semantic web is incorporated into the active spaces such as the buildings or any cafes, which assist the service composition plan in the background so as to organize device relevance relevant to the context. And it is learned that the service oriented architecture can be implemented in any of the active space using an IoT environment. Okay? The future scope for this research is that real smart environments and can be implemented using this, and also while we can also deal it in the large number of sensors and devices. So as of now, we have only tested with the 2 devices only, but it can be implemented to the larger number of devices along with some more context information. Yeah, so these are the references, few of the references. There are many, but I have just added only few of them. Yeah, in the slides. Thank you. Any questions or queries?
Yeah, that is very good presentation. So, yeah, only one question, like how you wanted to extend this research for the future aspect? What is your future extension?
Yeah, so actually we are trying to implement it into a larger environment. So for example, our college, Walchand College, this is a Master of Technology College. So we want to implement it in the complete college area, so that uh, whenever any teachers or any senior authorities will be using the services, they will not have to do everything manually. So we want to automate all these services that are accessible to them using the context information. That is what our main
Okay.
target is. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Moving on next, I'd like to call Miss Kavishruti K for her paper titled Decoding Customer Sentiment, a broad topic approach to review analysis of heritage tourism. Ma'am, please can you start with the presentation?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Yes, it's visible.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kavish Kruti, and I'm currently pursuing my MBA from Amrita School of Business, Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. Myself, along with my co-authors, we have done our research as a part of our MBA program on the topic Decoding Customer Sentiment, a bird topic approach to review analysis of heritage tourism under the guidance of my faculty member, Dr. Sangeeta Gunasekar. This is the plan of my presentation today, starting from the introduction of the study and concluding it with the limitations and references. So the introduction is Taj Mahal being one of the most visited tourist spot in India, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which stands as a symbol of India's rich cultural heritage. With the evolving digital landscape, the way tourists share their experience has transformed. User-generated contents like the online reviews on social media has become one of the most reliable sources for other travelers to make informed decisions. So the positive reviews and stunning visuals which are shared online can significantly increase the tourist attraction towards the destination, while the negative reviews can help travelers identify their challenges beforehand. So the aim of our study is to understand which factors contribute to the positive visitor experience at the Taj Mahal by analyzing the online text reviews by using bird topic modeling. So the research gap which we had tried to address is while various researches have been done on exploring heritage tourism in the context like China and Istanbul, limited research have been specifically focused on understanding visitors' experience and satisfaction at Taj Mahal using advanced text mining techniques like the bird topic. So our research objective is to identify the factors that influence positive visitor sentiment at the Taj Mahal through the analysis of user-generated content using bird topic modeling technique and logistic regression. So the data sources is we have scraped the data using Python code from tripadvisor.com, which is one of the most trusted sources for travelers across the world for online reviews. Also, other details like the date they were posted, the review titles, and the star ratings. For Taj Mahal, a total of 24,145 user generated reviews were scraped from the period of 2004 to 2024. The research methodology is the research methodology is the first one is theme identification. So initially the data was pre-processed by removing the punctuation, special characters, and converting all the text into lower cases. For theme identification, the bird topic method was used, which helped us in creating cluster of words with easily interpretable topics. So instead of using traditional methods like the LTA method, which treats group of words in isolation, BERT identifies theme that captures relationship and context between words. So that's why we have used BERT topic modeling to create relevant themes for our studies. And a total of 78 themes were identified, one of which include illegible characters. So hence this theme was deleted, and subsequently the rest of the themes were grouped under 9 broader themes such as tour, time of visit, location, history, memories, crowd, facility, architecture, and value for money. Logistic regression. We have used logistic regression to understand the relationship between different factors that affect the visitor sentiment at the Taj Mahal. By looking at specific themes from the review, the logistic regression can show how these factors influence the overall opinion that which thereby affects the ratings given for the particular heritage site. So these are the themes that we have identified by using the bird topic model. And this is how we have classified the 77 bird topic themes under 9 broader themes. And these are the results of our logistic regression. So this is the formula which we have used, where y being the dependent variable is dependent on the independent variables like tour, time of visit, location, history, memories, crowd, facility, architecture, value for money. So this model will take the value of y equal to 1 if the rating given by the user is 5, or else if the rating given by the user is less than 5, then the value of y will be taken as 0. So from this results, we can see that the odd ratios for tour, time of visit, and these factors have a positive impact on the ratings given by the travelers. And if we look into the p-value, the p-value for location and memory is greater than 0.05. So this larger p-value indicates that the independent variable does not affect the outcome. That is, this variable in the star rating. So the themes like tour, time of visit, and history are seen to have significant impact on the having a positive sentiment on impacting the themes like
Excuse me,
value
ma'am.
for money, crowd, and facility are seen to
Excuse me, ma'am.
influence.
Sorry
Yes,
to interrupt, but 8 minutes are over. Can you please wrap up?
yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah, sure. So I would look into the fact significantly contributing to the sentiment, whereas value for money, crowd, and facility are contributing to the negative visitor sentiment at the 5% confidence level, whereas we are and the architecture doesn't and the variable architecture doesn't have any negative or positive impact. So these findings are very insightful for tourism stakeholders to enhance the visitors' experience and satisfaction at Taj Mahal and other heritage sites by addressing the identified issues and implementing strategies to improve that. So our present study is not without limitation. So we have used a single source of data. So future studies can include more sources of data to get richer insights, and we have focused only on one tourist destination in India, that is Taj Mahal, and using online text reviews to analyze the tourist satisfaction limits the study in terms of excluding emojis, photographs, and videos. So further studies can also analyze on that. So these are the few references which I have listed for the presentation. And thank you. Open for queries.
That's a very good presentation. No
Thank you,
questions
sir.
from my side. Anyone has anything, then please ask.
If no questions, then we can move on.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Moving on next, I'd like to call Mr. Aditya Sharma for his paper titled Healthcare, an ever-evolving field embracing change and practical application. So please can you start with your presentation?
Yeah, sure. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay, let me share my screen. Just a second. So good afternoon, everyone. My paper ID is 227, and the topic of my presentation is healthcare and ever-evolving field, embracing change and practical application. So, here are my co-authors. My co-authors are Pratik Dahal, Atharva Phatak, Shivam Ghorpade, and we have been guided by our mentor and guide, Miss Pushpavati ma'am. So the basic idea of our project was to create a platform for doctor-patient interaction and other related services. And we wanted to build a platform where patient and doctor can interact with each other seamlessly, along with the participation of medical services. So the introduction is as follows. Our application revolutionizes healthcare by leveraging new technologies to connect doctors and patients seamlessly. So our main idea was to address challenges like non-uniform medical records and cumbersome appointments. So we wanted to build a whole application which can deal and cater all medical needs for patients. So the motivation to dive in this topic of healthcare was first uniformity in medical records. Nowadays, we see that there is no uniformity in medical records. A patient visits many clinics, so we wanted a central database where all the patient's medical records is stored and is accessed and can be accessed only by the patient itself. And we wanted to cater medical services which can be operated as a door-to-door basis. So the key features of our application are doctor at doorstep, test recommendations, rent medical equipments, virtual nurse, and handling medical records. So while researching for this project, the observations that we made were that most of the doctors were demanding a a tech which will seamlessly connect doctors with their patients. And we wanted to build a communication flow in such a way that we wanted to build a kind of human touch between the communication of doctor and the patient so that the trust could be built. And India is now currently facing employability issue for private doctors, which are good doctors, and we wanted to cater them. And we wanted to uh, un- to increase the uniformity in medical records so that when somebody gets a disease, his or her past medical records can be seen. And nowadays there is an increasing fashion for using chatbots, and we have integrated chatbot in our application. So the system diagram is as follows. So the user will input its data through chatbot. It will go to our server one and it will store the input, and the doctor will provide the training data based on its recommendation, and the server 3 will store the patient history and will output the data based on the doctor. So here is the system architecture. The patient will log in into our application. The patient will enter the data and enter the anomaly which he or she is facing. Then we will recommend test. We are not prescribing anything here. We will recommend test And based on that, we will help that patient to consult the doctor. So we have 4 modules: the patient module, the database module, the doctor module, and the pharmacy module. So it is the first feature of our application, which is doctor at doorstep. Here, the doctors who do not have their own personal clinic will come to the patient's home to treat normal day-to-day diseases like cold, cough, fever. So the advantage of this feature is that there will be no more long queues waiting for the appointment. Appointment will book Appointments will be booked based on the patient's convenience, and it will reduce a lot of cost. And this is the second module, which is test recommendation. Here we will suggest the test that the patient will have to go through, so that he or she can check that whether he or she is having that disease or not. This is the third module, where we will let the patient rent some kind of medical equipments on their home, so they do not have to bear that expensive cost of rent of purchasing the medical equipments. And this is our virtual nurse. Here, this is a chatbot in which you can chat with the chatbot, and can consult that chatbot for normal day-to-day things, such as how to lose weight. My eyes are red. You can chat through that chatbot. And the conclusion of our presentation is that explosion of healthcare data, combined with the rise in demand from aging population around the world, rising costs, and a shortage of supply, both are there. So we need to and there is a very large gap between the doctors and the patients, and that gap can be bridged through technology only. So access to quality and affordable healthcare, and good health for everyone is the ultimate goal. And these are the implementation photos of our application. This is the main homepage, and here are all the modules. And this is the test recommendation, where you can enter the disease, and based on that it can recommend you tests. This is the hospitals and clinics that are nearby, where you can book the appointments. And this is for doctor at doorstep, where the doctors can come to your doorstep to treat you. This is for the medicine information. Thank you. I'm open for questions.
Any questions, sir? I believe no questions, so probably we can move on.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. Moving on next, I'd like to call Mr. Nilay Vaidya for his paper titled Learning Metamorphosis, Revolutionizing Education with Technology, Integration and Customization in Education 5.0. So please can you start with your presentation?
Yeah, let me just share my screen.
Yeah.
I hope my screen is visible now.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So good afternoon, one and all present here. I, Nilay Vaidya, Assistant Professor from Charuseti University. Now, I take the opportunity to present my paper on behalf of our co-authors. Before I start and tell you what exactly the revolution, what exactly 5.0 need, I just brief the problem. So first, I just brief like just understanding what exactly we are having, where we are, and then we can think and visualize what exactly is going to dominate in coming time by using again NEP, National Education Policy, and Education 5.0. So first, first must understand the current challenges in education. We all are witnessing, being academicians, that the system is a bit rigid, one size fits all. We are failing to meet the diverse needs of the students. there is need for more personalized and adaptive approach. So here the term which is more emphasized in Education 5.0 is personalized. But when we talk about personalized, then the first question comes into our mind that is it regarding the finding the difficulty level of the student or understanding level of the student is one facet, one aspect. The other aspect which is more emphasizing and challenging is the flexibility in terms of what he or she wants. So again, the education transformation is one of the second major problem in the current era. So why we need, or what is the importance of the research for Education 5.0 is the relevance of the technology. What are the potential benefits of customizing the content as well as customizing the flexibility that helps to empower and have more stronger outcome in terms of learning from the student? And again, third is preparing for the future. So where the research objective lies. So first we need to examine the impact of technology integration, explore how education model can be customized, identify the role of Education 5.0 in creating personalized, learner-centric environment that cater to diverse educational needs. And then we need to propose some recommendations by calibrating and putting these things into a cycle. So this is how graphically can be visualized this Education 5.0 at the center, while we have collaborative learning, where we have skill-based learning, where we have technology integration, and then the major root is personalized environment which is being offered to the learner. So to understand the background, evolution of educational models, initially we were having and we witnessed the traditional education model. Then there is Education 4.0, that is a shift towards incorporating digital tools like e-learning and blended learning environments. From there, we are right now standing at Education 5.0, which is emergence of more advanced, tech-driven, learner-centric model where technology customization and personalization play a vital role. So for that, first thing is we need to understand the technological integration where AI is dominating with machine learning, learning analytics, and immersive technology, that is AR and VR, gamification methods that engages the student and offering deep learning methodologies. The third, where we are right now, is customization and personalization, where we need to focus on how technology empowers and technology boosts the understanding level of the learner, gives flexibility to the learner with no time bound and no geographical location boundaries. Then we must first understand the gap in the existing study or existing research. For that, there are few literature reviews being shown here that focuses on learning platforms where student being learner can learn at their own pace, can learn by their at their own time and convenience without having any geographical boundaries. But the thing which is being focused here is, can we offer them customization in the content? That is, if one wants to change their line stream from one to another, becomes very difficult for the learner to change, as we are in a rigid education system. But we know that NEP 2020 offers this flexibility, and that gives the researcher to add new things or new agents or new components to the existing learning environment that helps not only the learner but also helps the teachers, the tutors or the supervisors to understand which stream, which subject or which topic is more suitable depending upon the learning capabilities and depending upon the learning pace and depending upon the learning interest of the learner. For that, we have proposed a model. I'll just point the agents. So what we have is we have something called an inference engine that continuously monitors the user's profile. There is a collaborative agent which communicates with the engine and updates the content, and there is something called content manager. So here on the root part, we have learner, or we can say a user, and there are inspiring instructions that continuously monitors the pool, continuously monitors the behavior of the
Excuse me,
learner.
sir. Sorry to disturb, but 8 minutes are over. Can you please wrap up?
Yeah, I'll just wrap up the thing. So continuously monitors and let the learner optimum result or optimum outcome. So what exactly is being experimented here is what we have is a data. What we have is an output. What we have is method. We call it our own algorithms, which helps in boosting up the education 5.0 outcomes. So for that, what we observe is the outcomes. What we care about the feedback, and what we do is a calibration that helps us in boosting both teacher as well as learner. And what we can offer them is we can fill the gap. So these are few challenges of what we see is gap, that is digital gap. Then again, the acceptance from both learner as well as the tutors. Security and privacy definitely will be the challenge, and adoption of diverse learning styles are the challenges. And these are the challenges via which we are not getting exact data, and we are not being able to manipulate those data, and we are not being able to customize, or we are not being able to make the system flexible so that the system offers those courses to the learners which are more suitable to them. So this is what is the conclusion from my side, that what we are working with the agents, we are working with the components that is being used to identify the interest of the user, and based on the interest, we can provide the learner their own choice in terms of flexible things, flexible courses. Thank you from my side. Any questions?
Thank you, sir. Any questions from the session chair? No questions, I guess, so we can move on. Thank you for your presentation, sir.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Moving on next, I'd like to call Mr. Aniket Jaiswal for the paper titled News Flow, Leveraging AI and ML for Multilingual News Classification and Sentiment Analysis to Support Feedback and Insights on News in Regional Media. So please, can you start with your presentation?
Yes, hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yeah. So, hello everyone. My name is Aniket Jaiswal, and I am here to present our research paper or implementation paper based on the topic news flow. On behalf of my co-authors Jay Madane, Sejal Balkhande, and our Professor Kirti Deshpande. So, will be just give me a second. Yes. So talking about the problem statement, the current Press Inference Bureau faces a challenge in efficiently tracking and analyzing media coverage across multiple languages. The sheer volume of news stories in various regional languages make manual analysis impractical. There is no automated system to quickly identify the tone of the stories or their relevance to any specific departments. As a result, negative stories may go unnoticed or delayed, missing critical opportunities for timely government intervention. The news flow system is designed to address this by automating and sentiment analysis of news articles and providing real-time notification of urgent issues. This will improve the responsiveness of not only PIB officers but also the government of India to stay informed of public sentiment across the nation. So yes, I'll be going to the next slide. Objectives. Objectives of our project is listed down below. First, automated monitoring system. Develop a system which is capable of automatically monitoring all the news across the India in multiple languages, which brings us to our second point, multilingual support as well. Sentiment analysis and categorization, doing analysis of the news based on the categories, based on the PIB offices department. There are different departments in PIB offices. So it's moving on, real-time feedback system as well. So whenever news is found negative or being against government of India, we can immediately notify the PIB officer of that department regarding any SMS or you can say email. Uh, there will be a dashboard design, user-friendly dashboard design for all the PIB offices with respect to their departments. Sorting and filtering capabilities will also be available on the UI system so that they can filter the news based on the sentiments or departments or based on any incidents. Flexibility and scalability is also a question as there is a lot of news in day-to-day life, in everyday life basically, and in multiple languages. So we'll talk about the tech stack for which we have been implementing. This was the literature survey that we did, and here are some of the papers. So yes, this is the summary of all the papers that we read, that we went through, and we found out various different algorithms that have been used till now for such classifications. There was a lot of algorithm, LSTM, SVM, naive Bayes, decision tree, and we found every paper's key elements and their drawbacks of what was a pro or con of any particular algorithm. And we currently use BTD, that is Bayesian decision tree, for our uh, project here because we find out it was more accurate in most of the circumstances in our case. Yeah. Moving on, this was the system architecture that we were following. So here the PIB officer user is the PIB officer, which will log in and he or she will see the dashboard, the news headlines, and everything. And behind the scenes, we have the backend wherein we can see all the algorithms, the web crawlers, the real-time notification alert module, the UI YouTube API module as well, wherein will be it will process all the things with the database and show it to the user. This was the workflow. Yes. So this workflow is for the papers. So we are crawling around more than 200 papers in India digitally. We scrape the news, we process it, we segregate it, we do sentiment analysis on it, and we store it in our database, and then we show it to the particular PIB user. Also, many a time there are no digital. The news is not digitally posted. We have digital pictures of it. We have images of it, not the textual part. So for it, we are using OCR model, which helps in extracting the text from the image. For example, here the challenge was a Sakal newspaper, which had the images of the newspaper, the cutouts, and not the text. So there we are using OCR model. Okay, so this one is important as we know if there's a breaking news so mostly it's live, right? So we can use YouTube as a platform wherein we can use closed captioning, or we can use audio to text conversion wherein we can extract the text, we can do sentiment, and we can give real-time notification to the PIB officer regarding any news, any outbreak or anything, and which he or she can report to government of India and immediate actions can be taken. So this was the text that we were using and we are using. Moon, we are using beautiful soup for scraping. We are using our ML model, and we are using MongoDB as our data.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry to disturb,
Yes,
but 8 minutes are over. Can you please wrap up?
yes, yeah. Thank you. I'm open for questions.
Any questions from the session chat?
Yeah, it is fine. No problem. So only that video processing architecture, is there any difficulty you face during this proceduring phase?
Yes, like as they had limited time for this implementation for our college project, we had only 3 months. So currently, we were unable to do this part here, right here. Like we were limited on time as well as on technological stuff that we wanted to learn to implement this. But yes, many times it's difficult to track which videos we should, close caption or we should monitor, because there are multiple YouTube channels, and covering most of them is the most challenging part. We need to figure out which YouTube channel we should, monitor, and there are millions of channels regarding this news. So that's
Okay, so you went through channel to channel or any particular clip to clip?
They are currently working on it, because like we are not sure about the architecture. Like we are not sure how to fetch the videos. Like we can't unethically, get anyone's video and do closed captioning. So there is YouTube API as well, but I think it's paid or something. But yes, we can use YouTube API as well. If not, we need
Okay.
to find an alternative solution. Like yes.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your presentation, sir. Moving on next, I'd like to call Mr. Revanath Kumar for the paper title Securing IOMT Intrusion Detection to Improve Medical Data Security on Internet of Medical Things using Machine Learning Techniques. So please can you start with your presentation?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Let me share my screen.
Yes.
I hope, am I visible now? Yeah, is my screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, SMARTCOM 2025. I'm Puran Remat Kumar. Today I'm going to give a presentation on securing IOMT, intrusion detection to improve medical data security on Internet of Medical Things using machine learning techniques. Nowadays, it is very crucial to collect and to secure the medical data, because there are a lot of breaches and the attacks has been happening with the help of advanced cybersecurity things and all. So how to secure the data of the medical, how to secure the medical data like patient records and etc. And nowadays the medical hospitals and colleges, what they are doing, like they are having interconnection security network, and with the one firewall, and they are distributing all the data across the all the hospitals, whichever the patient data is there. For suppose if there are MRI images and CT images are there, so from one hospital, they are distributing it to the another hospital by help of this securing the data with the help of algorithms and all. So yeah, this way the research will be more eradicated, like it will evolve more. The research will evolve more with the help of this protecting the data and all, with the help of breaches and attackers. So if we see the outline, if we go with the introduction and later on the related work, whatever the current authors and the old authors have been done, and the researchers has been gone through all the works, and later on the methodology which we have implemented, and results and the conclusion. If you see, the Internet of Medical Things is a subset of IoT, and nowadays all the medical devices are connected to the IoT devices because of the data sharing and all, and maintaining the records of for their monitoring health purpose and all. This IOMT is nothing but like we will go with the hands-free on healthcare monitoring and integrating the automation, because with the help of sensors and all the AI powered machine, We are integrating all this together with the help of IoT, and we are maintaining the data to be secured. And transferring this data through the remote access of data pre-processing is very crucial, because when we are transferring the data, we are undergoing the pre-processing of the data in between, and later on we are giving them the images or the patient data records, whatever. So in between, what happened, the data security is very much weak nowadays. So to secure more data, this IoT, like Internet of Medical Things, to with the connected device of the IoT, now this machine learning and deep learning will help the devices to protect. And IoT technologies provide wireless monitoring of healthcare parameters, which is turn reduce the need of needless hospitals visits and expansion associated with them. So with the help of this data, which we are providing and securing in the cloud and all, so there is no need of visiting the doctors continuously, like day by day, which is not needed, because all the data has been recorded, and with the help of the patient data recorded, what is happened in the previous visit, we can easily we can identify from where we have got, and what significantly we have done. In order to make the most significant contribution, a new lightweight like machine learning techniques has been presented. The privacy of patients' medical records was the driving force for the proposal of this method. Now, if we dive into the related work, now artificial intelligence has garnered attention for researchers and industries associated with the biomedical due to the ability of managing vast quality of data. So, however, the new technologies provide challenges for business, which are involved like fixing of IoT security and privacy issues. So medical systems are vulnerable and one another when it comes to the data and information ability, confidentiality and integrity. So when confidentiality and integrity come into the picture, nowadays everyone need the open access data because all people are falling into the raw data first of all, because the raw data has the more information, and they can get a good amount of number of patient record data. So with the help of raw data, they can do more research, and because the raw data has the more clear and crystal information was there, because it was not pre-processed. The raw data was not pre-processed as it available in the document and the Excel files. So this integrity and confidentiality of the data, maintaining end-to-end encryption is most important. So securing issues may impair confidentiality, risk integrity, and cause availability issues. Numerous research works has been conducted on the new technologies known as Internet of Medical Things. Now, if you see, these are some of the authors has been done some methodologies, and they use some data sets and their findings, and the research gaps which I have found from their papers. So if you see the first author like T. Sava, they use like SVM and reinforcement, and they use like incident 15 data set, and they achieved 95% accuracy in detecting anomalies. Need for real-time anomaly detection methods, because they have done with the data sets, and they need some real-time data set, which is important, because the data set which they have taken from the open source and the data set which they do monitoring is totally different. So they need that. That was the small gap was there. Healthcare systems for the second paper, if you see the exoho, they use NSL KD dataset, and they improved the patient monitoring by 20%, because of the previous results. I have seen that the author they have cited for 80%, so they have improved somewhat little bit. So around 95 96 they got, they also come up with the 95 96, and the integration with the existing healthcare systems was not much better, and they did not use the latest data set which have more new attacks, like probe attacks and foodie attacks, and these all things that was not there in the NSL kit. So according to all these authors, they have done the good work, and they have improved the results and all, because to one and to one, the results are keep on increasing and improving the data and attacks by day with the help of 2024-2023 data sets. So here is the related work which has been gathered. And if we dive into the methodology part, the suggested intuition decisions about IOMT application and discuss it. In this, I have used like CIC IOMT, cybersecurity intuition critical system of Internet of Medical Things dataset was used in this. Stage one of this research was involved in the normalizing the CIC dataset using the min-max idea, and then scaling features to reduce the data leakage. Afterwards, PCA was used to reduce the dimensionality, like principal component analysis was used to reduce the dimensionality of the data. Now, in the data pre-processing, it's important for machine learning and to remove the errors from the data. So whatever the null values are there, whatever the leakage of patient data was there, that has been all been removed in the data pre-processing. According to the projections, it will be transform the raw data to the network IoT attacks, and it is suitable format for the additional studies. Feature scaling with the goal of having all attribute values of the same scale is known as normalization. So whichever the attributes are important, like in the patient record, whichever the data is actually important, that data has been normalized to all the values, and then the data has been pre-processed, and it will be released to the network without any attacks. It will protect. So later on, the principal component analysis was used for the dimensionality detection and all. The first component values as displayed in the equation, like lower and the B1. So here represents the vector form, and L represents the matrix of that particular file whichever we are using. So likewise, like upper and lower of the organization of the dataset has been also taken in this consideration. Like maximizing the equation 3 entitles diverging in terms of the contribution of B1 until 0. So till it get zero errors, like there is no null values and everything has been removed, the dimension has been reduced very properly. Till that time, this maximizing the equation will be keep on flow. Now, if we see this is the methodology part, we have used the k nearest neighbor algorithm. So here we have given the input as CIC dataset, and we have done pre-process, and we have taken the centroid of that kth power, and then we find the geometry distance between the each points, like whichever the target point is there, and whichever the reference point we are taking in the attributes. So we have calculated the probability of that, and we have maintained the record in a safe way, like pick one of the best probability, and we return to the highest probability of the value. Now, this is the overall architecture for the methodology. If you see from sensors and layers, everything, the data has been collected from the patient, and it has been a raw data, and it has been pre-processed with the handling missing values, moving average and min-max, and then given to the application stage where accuracy, precision, recall has been obtained. And then the criteria, whether it yes or no, like whether the detection was anything detected, then which type, malware or not, it will detect. No, if then the application stage will be keep on repeated until all the errors has been reduced. So this is the overall architecture. And if we come across the results, there were 5 distinct kinds of attacks of the CIC handle. The following categories are DDoS, DOS, and recon, MQTT, and spoofing. So one half of the data set has been utilized for model training, while the other half is for the testing. So here the results has been discussed over very carefully. So the DDoS attack assaults were identified by the system as it attempted to limit the server as the limiting user of the cloud access. So when cloud is accessing, so this type of attacks has been more. So the algorithms has been very much handled, and it was removed all these attacks until the final iteration. If we come with the results part, if you see decision tree, Navy Bice and KNN, it was reached almost the accuracy of like above 95 above. So decision tree was 96. So if you see the accuracy and validation loss also, we can see it is above 95. And the loss was also very, very less loss. It went 0.24 somewhere. So these are the results were obtained with the help of these machine learning algorithms. And and it finally, if I want to conclude that this work was explored and numerous potential for IOMT to improve healthcare for those who required a continuous medical care and monitoring. Integrating state-of-the-art health apps, platforms, and machine learning intrusion detection system is essential for improving therapy delivery by protecting patient privacy and sensitive medical data. In the realm of computer security, machine learning with intrusion detection systems have become increasingly popular due to their ability to detect threat automatically. So this is I want to conclude. So with the help of our methodologies and all, we are able to find out the attacks almost like 96%, near about 97%. So here I want to conclude all my work, whatever we have taken the data set and the results which I have shown. So these are the references we have followed. These are the few references in a research paper. I have included many more papers I have included. So now I am ready for open for questions. Any questions? I'm open.
Yes, okay. The presentation was very nice. And intrusion detection, if you, let's say, like, if you want to preserve the data, right? Because the data privacy is a very important concept.
Yeah.
And concern. So how you are ensuring that privacy of the people is also be preserved in during these kind of medical related analysis?
Like how to ensure the privacy of the patient data, sir?
Yes, yes.
Sir, with the help
Did your
of this,
research also concerning those particular concerns?
yeah, we can do with the data encryption one thing. And we can go with the de-identification and anomalization. There is another way. So that we are discussing in stage, and we are doing more and more. And one more thing we can do with the federated learning. These things can be assessed to secure the data more.
So
Because
have you done it? Have you done it in your study?
yes, sir. Like we have undergone with the only securing the storage of the data as of now. So there is another one is federated learning we have to come across.
Okay, fine. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your presentation, sir. Moving on next, I'd like to call Mr. Vinay Navandar for his paper titled Smart Surveillance for Classroom Management. Can you start with your presentation, sir? I guess sir is not in the meeting. We can move on to the next presenter, Vishwas Chitrao ma'am, for her paper titled Women-Led Startup and Success Story, a Case of Zakat. Ma'am, can you please start with your presentation? I believe they are not in the meeting, so we can move ahead. I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentations and contribution in this session, and all our participants for being part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough. We, on behalf of the whole team, thank you for the support during the 9th version and all the previous 8 versions, and we'll be happy to have you on the 10th version in 2026. All the presenters would be getting their digital certificates via email within 2 working days. Further, all the papers have already been forwarded to the Springer. The publication will be live within 6 months. Kindly cooperate with the team of SmartCom 2025. I'd also like to thank our session chair for chairing this session. This is a token of appreciation. This is a token of appreciation to the chair on behalf of the team of SmartCom 2025 and Global Knowledge Research Foundation and partners. Thank you, sir, for your valuable presence. I request everyone to please switch on their cameras for a quick snapshot of this conference. Am I audible? I request everyone to please switch on their cameras for a quick snapshot.
So is there any other papers left?
No, sir, we are done with the papers.
Okay, fine. So yeah, so it was a very good session. I really enjoyed this thing, and hope to connect it with the future sessions
Yes,
as well.
sir.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much for the valuable
Yeah.
presence.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.